Okay, and welcome back to our latest British Web Awards creator interview. And today we are joined by the creator, the writer, and the star and director of Blue Wall, Shelia Simmons. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks.
How are you today?
And it's called Blue Wall the series. And why it's that differentiation is because there was actually a movie and long ago a TV series called Blue Wall. So we are Blue Wall the series. It's that specific. Really is.
Nice. Yes. Perfect. I wasn't sure, but that's the way to do it, isn't it?
Oh yes, yes.
Excellent. Well, let's go straight. Let's just get to a bit about you. What's kind of your background? What was where did you get started? And was it acting? Because obviously you got a lot of job roles on this one. What was your first kind of passion? What did you first start getting into?
Well, it was acting. I'm an actor, and yes, I'm an actor first. And how Blue Wall started initially, Blue Wall the series started, is because I auditioned for Law and Order, and it was at the time they weren't sure, the original Law and Order, and they weren't sure whether it was going to get picked up. And I remember the audition went well, and she said, let me see what I can do, because again, they weren't sure whether the show was going to get picked up. And unfortunately, at that point, it did not. And I've always felt like I was the only New York actor who did not get to work on Law and Order. And I was doing theater at the time. And I remember thinking, and that's at the beginning, the onset of web series. And so I remember thinking, well, I really want to play detective. And I said, well, I'm just gonna write my own web series. And I remember that night when I finished the play, that night I wrote like 9 episodes, and then I just kept writing and writing. And by the time we had our first table read, we had 39 episodes. And so I just kept doing it. And so we just started, I just kept writing. And so that's what it is. And it just Blue Wall evolved, and we filmed. And right now we have quite a few episodes. And what it is now is we pretty much have a whole series. And so
fantastic.
Yes.
Did you ever go to the LA Web Fest or anything like that at all?
We went to different film festivals. Actually, we went to festivals here in the city. We went to Hoboken and the like the Manhattan Film Festival and the New York City.
Sorry, the main reason I was asking was because the gentleman who ran the LA Web Fest, one of his catchphrases was, don't wait, create. So as you were telling your story there, obviously you wanted to do something, and then you just decided you're going to create your own good luck and you're going to create your own journey. And I just think that's really powerful. That's
it really is.
That's the nature of web series. It gives people the option to follow what they want, isn't it?
Well, that's the cool thing is what you would have to do before is, well, I think it still does in some instances, you have to get an agent who will sell your script, and then, then that's how you would have to do it. But the cool thing is now that you can create your own content, and I mean, it's great for us now that we can put it out there ourselves and, get picked up or however, it's really a wonderful way that we can get seen, because that would never have happened to us before. And so we all have this wonderful opportunity to take advantage of that. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So
great. And again, we were chatting yesterday about this and the advantages of a web series. And there's no real end to the advantages, because it could either be your own CV, it could be your calling card, it could just be anything you want to do to showcase yourself, or like you say, it might be big enough to be picked up, or the idea might go further. There's no I can't really think of disadvantages of them, really. They're great.
Exactly. I really don't think there is one. And it's just wonderful. We've seen so many amazing series and so many amazing opportunities and things. And that's what I think now Hollywood and other places are seeing that now, because there's so many amazing stories to tell and so many different things. You don't have to do so many rehashing and retooling and retellings. There's so many great stories out there. So yes, it's wonderful. Now's a really great time for writers and creators, content creators. It really is. It's almost a renaissance, if you will.
Yeah, 100%. Going back into your series a second. So you had the idea at the beginning.
Yes.
Was it just a feeling of, you know, I've got this down, I've got the story in my head, so I'm going to try and direct this and stuff? What was the kind of journey of getting it from script to screen? What was your journey there?
Well, I as a little girl, I knew my parents loved cop shows, and I remember my dad loved like Hill Street Blues, and one of his favorite shows I remember as a little girl we watched was called The Rookies. There was a lot of different kind of cop shows when we were little kids, and so Columbo and all these other kind of shows like that. And mine is not really just a cop show, and so it's kind of like a mashup of The Usual Suspects meets The Shield. So it's kind of a thriller and a mystery and all these kind of things combined. And so I just got, and then I would watch things like 48 Hours and just different cop dramas and just cop shows and everything. And I actually spoke to some real cops, and I did my research, my due diligence, you know, so I didn't want to just put just anything out there. So this isn't like anything you've seen. You can say, oh, I see. No, this is not like this isn't your mama's cop show. Okay? So this is very different. And so there's a real twist at the end. And we have the end. I mean, the whole entire thing is written. And so we have season 1 is what's out there now. And so we're excited. We are really thrilled with this. And yeah.
Can I ask, I know you were saying, again, with the creative freedom, that's the other thing you've got when you write your own stuff. You can kind of make what you feel is missing as well, can't you? You know what I mean? You can make what you feel not there. So before, when you were saying it's not your traditional cop show, what if you're selling your show now, what's the difference between your show and traditional shows? What makes your show really worth seeing? Yeah.
Okay. Well, also, what I also liked watching too was when the wonderful actress, and please excuse me, and I'm looking right at her, and wow, my sister, you guys in London have some amazing, and I grew up watching a lot of British television too. This isn't because I'm talking to you, I'm just saying PBS showed us some great shows, and Prime Suspect, but Helen Mirren, and I did a couple monologues from her show, and that always got me work. And so I loved her character too. So I have my characters kind of based, because she's kind of like an outsider, you know, because she's like a great protagonist. And so why I love this cop show is because it's not your cookie cutter kind of drama where, you know, it's just the problem, the thing, it's solved. Next thing, no, it's almost a continuation. And it's such a great way to tell the story, because it's a band of cops and they're not exactly, they're rogue, it's not exactly clean cops, but yet things are happening to them. And in this time here in America, because initially when this first was written, there were some awful things that were happening here in America. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but here in America, some cops were doing some really horrific things. And so when my show, initially, when we had the trailers, some actors dropped from the show, dropped from rehearsals. They're like, no, we're not doing, I can't be a part of this. It says, you know, you guys look like terrorists, you guys look like this, because when you saw the trailers, you saw when we had the mask and stuff. Now remember, there was no such thing as COVID. We had those masks. I ordered those from China because they had the bird flu. I wanted something different from mask. I wanted something, first I was thinking of this over the eyes or whatever, but I ordered those. I thought this was a cool idea. I ordered those from China. Nobody even had those masks. So what's kind of funny now in 2022, we all have to wear those masks. But I had that since 2013. Now, how wild is that when you think about that? Okay. And so, and I remember this DP didn't want to work with us. He says, you're promoting violence, you're promoting terrorism. People were thinking that. And I'm thinking, this is just, no, cop shows are happening. Law and Order is still happening. And, you know, NYPD, all these other shows are still happening. So what are you talking about? This is just a TV show. This is just entertainment. But people are taking it serious. So we had actors and people that dropped from the project then. But it's so funny. We still kept going. We still kept working. And now it's kind of funny when you see us with those masks. It's like now it's like commonplace. Nobody's even, but I just thought that was really funny that I had those masks back then. And now it's like, right? How wild is that? And so
a trendsetter. It really did catch on.
Right, it did. And so but still people still doesn't have that mask, but the Jackie's mask, my character's mask, that's still not here. But it's different because, like I said, it's a thriller and it's a mystery and it's a continuation. Every episode is a cliffhanger. And so you're gonna want to come back to see it. It's like potato chips. You can't just eat just one. So you're gonna come back. You're gonna want to come back for more.
That's the perfect pitch, isn't it? And very true, very true. Brilliant. So great, you've got your things together there. And how did you go about kind of bringing your cast together? Did you know lots of actors and stuff anyway from your experience? How did you get your cast together? What was that
from advertising in the casting notices, and some of the actors I have worked with before, some of the actors I wanted to work with. And the cool thing, how I write is this. I see an actor, and when I hire, like some of the actors who I wanted to work with, I imagine that actor. And actually what's exciting for these actors, that part, I imagine that actor, and that part was written specifically for them. So it's not like casting notices and blah, 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 blah. So no, I write specifically for that actor. So, and that doesn't happen earlier in anybody's career, that a part's written for them. You know what I'm saying? And so when they're playing that part, it was for them. So they're really thrilled about that. And so I imagine them, and as I'm writing for them, I see them doing the motions, I see them saying the lines, and that's the part that they have. And so, especially for the squad. So that was really cool to do that. And some of the other characters, I imagine it, and then I imagine it in my head, and then I write it. And so that's how it came about. And I write in longhand first, and then I write it. And so that's what it is. And so, yeah.
Brilliant. Did you enjoy the writing process?
Oh yeah, I love writing. I do. And lots of times it comes to me while I call my twilight in the middle of the night, and I get these ideas, I get these visions or whatever, and then I get up and then I write. And I have Twizzlers, I have writing candy, and so I sit there and I write. I have my headphones on, and I can write for hours, and just I can write all day. I can write for hours. I get up in the middle of the night. My husband, who passed, one time he's like, "Okay, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. You didn't go to bed." And so yeah, that's kind of what I do. And yeah.
Well, yeah, they say there's that kind of creativity that starts at night, don't they? And they always say try and have a I don't know who they is, but they always someone said once.
Somebody said it, right?
Must be true. Put a notepad and pen by your bed, isn't it? Because when you're relaxed, that's when you get these ideas, or you know, and
oh yeah, and then I get up and I just write, and just and I mean, just right now, I'm sitting here and I got my composition books, and I'm writing, and just my blue wall book is right here, and I write.
When you've got it ready, you're there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Really, no, it's exciting, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah.
Well, it's therapeutic as well, I imagine, to a lot of ways, isn't it? When
for
you get
me,
to practice.
actually, it is. Writing is quite therapeutic and helps. Because unfortunately my husband passed. And so that's just kind of what sustains me and helps me and just keeps me going. And unfortunately, last year my sister passed. And so that she was one of my producers on the show. And she helps me with my other projects that I have. And she just it's just something that just keeps me going, and it's just a good way to just keep me normal and just keep me working and just, So, and just working and being on the set there's nothing like it. As an actor, as a director, as, just working. It's just, so when the pandemic hit, that was so hard that we could not work, and just everything just dried up. And we've last shot, I think, in 2018, or maybe the 19. Late 90s, something like that. And then that was it. And that was hard. You know what I'm saying? And so we haven't been able to do anything for 2 years. And we're going to gear back up again, probably towards the late summer, early fall, something like that. Oh no,
and you get
we'll get going. Oh yeah, when we get back up, we'll be back up. So yeah.
yeah. I mean, you're not alone with that. You
Oh
know,
yes,
it's a lot of
yeah,
people being caught in that, and
right. Oh yeah,
you know, and our
yeah,
first British Web Awards, that was in 2020, so that was
right,
kind of the first year
right,
we've done that as well. So
right.
it was that was
Yeah.
kind of about creating an event that could
Mm-hmm.
reward people at home,
Right,
and trying to
right.
tell people to continue to be
Right.
creative in whatever way you can do, and it's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so it's difficult, but it's tough. I mean, we started the film in 2019, and it's 2022, still not finished it.
Well, that's the whole thing. But that's the cool thing too, because and we also had some people, you have the naysayers and the ones that want to say,
Oh yeah,
"Oh, how's your little film going? It's a web series. How's your little film going? Oh, you're still at it. Oh, this is taking a long time." And then even some people have, "Oh, my little part, my little." I mean, these people that took themselves out of this. It's taken a long time, or I lost faith in you, blah blah blah, and those voices can go into your head. And those are the things that can crash you. And those are the things that can defeat you. And I know one guy that said, "Oh, this isn't going to go anywhere. Only 150 people are going to see it. And your grandma and people like that are going to see it. And it's not going to work." And if you listen to those voices, you're sunk. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But the thing is, I know where I'm going with this. I know this is going to succeed. I would not be brought this far just for it to fail. No way. I know
No,
this is going to work. You know what I'm saying? So
well,
the ones who took themselves out, I'm glad they took themselves out, because the ones that did, it's only became better, and that's just what it is. And so,
I was going to say it's so important to surround yourself with like-minded people,
exactly,
and
exactly.
negativity is so contagious.
It
You
truly is.
know,
And it can sink. And
you
I've
know.
started seeing other people in other projects, but that's not happening here. We have a
No,
great project, and we're so looking forward to the world seeing it and getting out there and receiving the accolades and acclaims that it will receive. I know it will. And so, I'm looking forward to it. Because look, I'm talking to you.
there you go. We're here, aren't we?
Right here I
So,
am. Look at this.
and when it's ready, you need to send it to,
Yes, I will.
and then we can come back next year and talk about,
Yes.
that things.
Yes.
But that's the pleasure of kind of doing this festival, is that
Exactly.
we get to do things like this, and
Right.
me and you, we haven't met before this kind of
Right.
conversation, but because of
Right.
our kind of linkage to creativity, we can just chat
Yes.
generally all day, because we've got that same passion for
Exactly.
for the web series things,
Exactly.
because obviously we run the festival, but it's because we've
Yes.
got that love for
Hmm.
what people are doing, and
Oh
this is
yes.
why it's so nice for me to then meet you, and to get
Mhm.
talking about your project, and and your journey.
Yes.
It's fascinating. It's
Yes,
great.
it's exciting. It's so exciting. And it's just wonderful to be back up again and talking and creating and doing things like this. And we can hardly wait to get back on the set and back to work and just, doing it again. We really
Great.
can.
Doing what you love, isn't it?
Oh,
That's
you're
the
doing
thing.
what we love. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
And just keep going and get out there. Oh, yes.
because there's not. I mean, I remember when we were filming the feature film, and it was night shoots, so it would be at the very end of the day we would start, and it would be at my most tiredest we
Hmm.
would be starting, but that would be the most fun I would have had the whole
Oh,
day.
yes. Oh,
So it goes
yes.
both ways. I think, wow,
It
because you
does.
love
Oh, yeah.
doing
We're
it.
up like, oh, yes, we're up like what? 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever, but still, it's just you have that adrenaline and that second wind kicks in, and we're on the set. We don't care. We were filming in a prison, okay, and we shot. Are you guys familiar with the show Orange is the New Black? Are you familiar with
Yes,
that?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we shot there where Orange is the New Black, or the film The
All right.
Irishman. We actually
Yeah.
filmed there, and just the fact that, okay, this shouldn't be, but we're actually excited that we're in a prison. You know what I'm saying? We're like, oh my God, this is so cool. No one's excited to be in prison, but that we were, and just it was just so cool that we were filming there, and just like, yeah, we're just like the few people that actually decided, look, we're going to prison. No one actually says that, but we were like that, and just to film there and get the scenes there. It just, it was 6:30 in the morning. The fact that I got 32 actors at 6:30 in the morning and did 8 scenes. Come on. That's
Brilliant.
awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Got 8 scenes off, 8 episodes off. I mean, that was really cool. So
Yeah.
that was quite an accomplishment. I was quite proud of myself that day. And
Well,
so,
that's
yeah,
one of my questions is like, what was one of the best days of filming or
that
whatever?
was
And I
truly
guess,
one of the best ones. Yeah, to get to do that, we were at the prison, 6:30 in the morning, had 32 actors there. We shot the scenes there. That was really, really cool. And then another great day was for the trailer at the Wolf Farm. My trailer, did you see the Wolf Farm one? Those
yeah,
are actual wolves. They one of those wolves was in Harry Potter. And there's those are wolves that are in commercials and stuff like that and everything. The scene in the trailer where I'm walking with the wolves, where I was sitting beside them and I had on this coat, and they did say, no, you can't wear leather, you can't wear furry, whatever. And I didn't think anything was going to happen with this coat. So I'm sitting there, and the wolf, this is to Orion. He looks at me, looks at my coat, and he started chomping at the fur. And they said, no matter what, don't move, don't scream. So I said, and he's kind of chomping at my fur. And I said, okay, he's biting me. Inside, I'm going, ah! But outside, he's biting me, he's biting my fur, he's biting me. And I was like screaming inside. And he ate my hat too. But to be with the wolves, that was the coolest thing. That was cool. To actually film with wolves was cool. But yeah, those are great days. We have some really fun times. Yeah.
isn't it great? Like you say, when you make these projects, and then you get to have the most extraordinary days doing things you wouldn't normally do. Hence the prison
Right.
kind of shoot, and then working with the wolves. And these aren't
Right.
things that you would normally do.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
no business like show business, is there, in a way?
And then being in charge and actually being a woman and as a director, because even sometimes when I first started, I was hiring my crew, and I remember this one guy saying, no one's going to take you serious as a director. And he says, this is what I'll do. I'll bring my crew in, and I'm going to be in charge, and we're going to do this. And just, oh, you should see how people just did not take me serious. And one time this actor was saying, oh, I work in Homeland Security. No cop is going to say this, and no one's going to say that. And one time an actor says, send me my script in PDF because I don't think anybody would say this. I mean, it's weird how people, because I write under a pseudonym. Virginia Ham is my pseudonym. Okay, so that's who that is. And so it's just funny how people didn't take me seriously. And they say things like that, and oh, I lost faith in you, or, oh, I did, but they know, and they did. They took themselves right out. So moving on. That's all.
Well, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, isn't it?
It's as simple as that, isn't it?
People
Chris,
come
honestly,
and go.
it's as simple as that. And the longer and that's the thing, the longer it takes, the better it became, that we got even better people. And that's just basically what it is.
Yeah.
It's supposed to happen when it's supposed to happen. And people, you're still working on it. You're still at it. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the same with kind of our feature film thing. If we'd finished it 2 years ago, we've since met someone who's done drone pilot shots for us and stuff.
Exactly.
And it's just getting more enhanced and more better. We've
Right.
gone the long way around.
Right.
I don't think anyone signed up for a 3-year shoot.
Right. Right.
But like, sorry guys,
Right.
So, but yeah, and then the end, it's worth it, obviously, because you are making a better film, aren't you, and a better project.
But how many times have you seen on award shows and stuff? We've been working on this for 10 years. We've been working on this for this years. We've been working on it for 20 years. But that's the whole point. The longer you work on it, the better it gets. And look at the end result, right? So, yeah, it gets done when it gets done. And it's as simple as that. We don't know when it's going to get done, but it will.
There's a saying of mine when I do editing, and that's shouldn't stop until you're proud of the edits.
That's a good one.
Literally.
A quote from Chris Hemsworth: "It shouldn't stop until you're proud."
Don't stop until you're proud. Yeah,
that's wonderful.
Because I think with an edit, even if you do 100%, what if you then put in another 50%? That
right.
And then, because someone said to me, they said, "Oh, films are never finished; they're just abandoned." And I didn't believe that, because I can get to a point with my edits where that's as much as I could have done. And even if I see the same film 2 years later, I'm still in that headset and I go, I'm proud of that. I think, yeah, that's great. that's as
Right.
much as I could have done, and I think that's great. Yeah. So,
Right.
yeah. So I
Right.
didn't like that
Yes.
other quote. You know.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But don't stop till you're proud of it, and then that's great. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you always will be when you look back. Then you always will be. I think. Yeah.
Yes. And you have a tangible piece of work that you're proud of, and there you go.
Yeah, and it'll be on your shelf forever, and it's
Mhm.
always there. You see, and it's like, you know.
Yes.
So
Oh,
it's the
yes.
best advice there.
Yes, it is.
So how did you find then juggling so many kind of hats? Then did you just get into the swing of it, directing, acting? How did you manage that? 'Cause I've done directing and acting as well, so I know it can
Mhm.
be a bit. How did you find that process?
Yeah, actually, it just when I was acting that day, that was the day I was acting. When I was directing that day, that's where I was directing. When I'm acting, I'm the actor that day. I never really acted and directed on the same day. I never really did that. I always kept them separate. That's the cool thing that I did. But when it was my turn to act, I always had somebody else direct me, and so that's what I thought that was the best thing to do. And so, because I focus when I act, I have my acting coach there and I work on my scenes. We've always rehearsed scenes because, like I said, since I'm theater based, I come from theater, we have
Okay.
rehearsals. We've always had rehearsals. So before anybody even set foot on the set, we rehearsed the scenes. Sometimes I drove the actors crazy, but that's what it is because I wanted it done right. And so, as you can see, these scenes are well rehearsed and well acted, and that's because we rehearsed them. And so, a lot of actors did appreciate that. And so, that was my whole thing. I worked with my coach and we did our scenes, and that's what it was. So it was always separate, and that was a great thing to do. So that's how that worked out for me. So it was never anything, I'm in front of the cameras, hold on, and I run behind and do the scene. So now I just always kept it different. I kept it separate. So it was an
Best
acting
way.
day or directing day or something like that. So.
Never a dull day, no, is there? There's always.
No, but it's fun because, like I said, it just I love what I do, and it's just wonderful. I get to do that.
Yeah, it's a privilege, isn't it? Really, to be
Yes,
able
it
to.
truly is. It truly is.
And you can forget
Absolutely.
at times, can't you, in the process? And then, yeah, sometimes you
Forget
just got
what?
to take it. Forget how exciting it is to be able to do. Sometimes it can be a stressful day.
Oh, some days were. Oh gosh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But when you step
Yes.
back from the process, you think, no, this is really cool. We're able to.
Well, the only
do
thing
this.
that really stressed me out was when people didn't show up. We had one day where we had a 6:30 call time, and people didn't show up till 8:30, and that was horrible because for one, we're paying for the place, and two, that's a lot of time that's lost. That's money that's lost, and I'm all about budget and time, and you don't get the time back because we have time from this time to this time. You know what I'm saying? And so, and we're talking about not only was the actors, but we're talking about the crew as well. All these people were late. We're all standing there waiting for people to come, and that was bad. And I took everybody to task. I turned into Betty Davis, and I took everybody to task. It's like, no, this is not good. And we're coming from. And I said, I'm here, and I'm coming from a horrible thing that happened. A guy, this actor who was supposed to play my dad, passed away, and then 9 days later, my husband died. But yet, 2 weeks later, I'm still on the set. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse for nobody to be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. So what's your excuse? And so, and I said, everybody said they wanted to help me. So I said, well, help me now. Then help me by being here on the set, and let's get the work done. And so from then on in, everybody kind of got their act together. But it's like, I abhor lateness. I abhor unprofessionalism. And so that was the problem. And so that day was awful. And one guy did his scenes and left afterwards, and we still had scenes with him. I don't know why he left. And so, things like that stresses me out. Or people just, like I said, being late, and you have scenes with other people, and that's what stresses me more than anything else. Things like that. But other than that, I just, things pretty much ran smoothly for the most part. They really did. But just, time constraints and silliness and, when they're on the set, people disappearing. I had that problem too. where's this person? Where's that person? Where's that person? They're wandering around. It's like,
Oh gosh.
okay, we're out of prison. Why are you wandering around? You know what I'm saying? Where are you gonna wander to? But just things like that. But other than that, no, for the most part, it's been pretty cool. It's like, where are you going? Right?
The prison.
Right. If you didn't have your placard, if you didn't give them back your placard, you couldn't leave. That's what it was like, because they had your license. You have to turn in, they would hold on to that. So if you didn't give back your placard that night, because I said I'm the first one to sign in and I'll be the last one to sign out. But if you didn't have your placard, or if you want, yeah, that was it. So one girl's like, I can't find mine. I said, you better find it, because not, you can't leave. Yeah,
you're going to be doing time.
Because it was an actual working prison on the other side. It really was. But this part, they film a lot of shows there, like Pose and like I said, Orange is the New Black. At one point, we actually saw their little things, their numbers when they were filming the next day or something like that. So that was really cool. So we were filming at we were thinking, and then sometimes, they filmed Hustlers there, J-Lo's movie. They filmed Hustlers there. And one of the guards was actually in the movie. We saw him. He drove a prison bus for one of our trailers for season 2 that we have. It was really gross in a prison bus. It's disgusting, okay? But we shot our scene for our trailer for that. And but we had the actual real deal. So, and that was a good day too, to just be doing scenes like that. But, you know, to get real location stuff, that was really cool.
How was it difficult to book the location, was it, or?
No, my friends make a joke with me. They said, Sheila, how did you get a prison bus? And the answer is, I asked. It's as simple as that. How did you get this location? I asked. How did you get an ambulance? I asked. Right? That's all. I asked them. So,
Brilliant. You don't ask,
asked.
you don't get.
Right. It's as simple as that. I Googled it. How did I get a prison location? I asked. How do we get this location? I asked. So, yeah.
So based on that, what advice would you give to people starting out making their own web series and stuff? Is there any kind of something you've learned? Because even just that's good advice, you know, be brave and ask, isn't it, and stuff.
Oh yes.
But is there any advice you'd give to anyone who was thinking of starting a web series? Yeah,
just the simplest thing, just do it. You know, just simply do it. Just tell your story, and that's the best advice. Everybody has a great imagination. Don't let somebody tell you otherwise. Just tell your story and make it happen. That's all. Because it can happen. It can and it will, if you want it to. So make it happen.
And that's lovely advice. Lovely, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Going back to Michael Ajakwi's from the LA Web Fest, don't wait. No, don't wait. What was it? If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Don't wait, create. That's what he's.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Oh yes.
Yeah, really nice. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Don't wait, create. But lovely.
Oh yes, that is great. It really is.
Yeah. So it's just tremendous, and that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? So,
yes.
So what's looking up for the future then? So you've got you're going to finish this off, like you say, come the end of did you say beginning of autumn? Did you say you're going to try?
I really do hope we're getting picked up. That's where I'm going. I really do hope that this is one place I'm manifesting it. I'm praying for it. I see it. I do believe it's going to happen. I have other projects that I wrote that are in the works. What I really would love is a development deal for the other things can go there too. I wrote acting wise, I'm probably going to do more theater, more films like the other people's projects. Just keep working, keep doing, you know what I'm saying? But Blue Wall's it though. I look for Blue Wall, the world to see it, for it to be up and out. And for us to get back to work on it and us to put it out. And that's really what I want right now. And of course, to go into more festivals. I didn't do that yet, but you know, more festivals and things like that. Yeah, I think I'll send you the first season so you can see it. And I love it. I'm happy with it. And I look forward to doing more of it. I do. The entire series is written. So basically, when we get picked up, they're not, because you know when sometimes a show gets picked up and they get, they get the pilot, and then they get the episodes, and then they get the film, and then they get picked up. Whoever picks us up is getting an entire series.
Yeah.
The entire show is written, meaning the beginning, the middle, and the end. They're getting 6 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tremendous,
We're ready.
isn't it?
We're ready. 6 seasons. We're ready.
Well,
So basically, yeah. I'm ready.
You can
I'm
do
ready.
it. You can do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I did it. I'm ready. It's just a matter
Yeah.
of me getting picked up. That's what it
There
is.
you go.
Yeah.
Well, if it's going to happen, I think this could be the time, couldn't it?
Yeah, it will happen. It can.
Well, sometimes all the stars align, and then that's it.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
exactly
So,
that's all I'm waiting for, the stars to align.
And the
me
other
getting
thing
the
they
contract.
say is when opportunity comes, make sure you're kind of ready, and that's kind of what you're doing. You're packing all
Oh,
the
yes.
things there.
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
It's just
So,
a matter of just
perfect.
this, them saying yes. That's what it is. Yeah. We're just waiting for the yes. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well,
Yeah.
I think that's been absolutely wonderful chatting
It's
with
wonderful,
you.
Chris.
I've
Thank
really
you so
enjoyed
much,
that.
Mr. Hemsworth.
Okay.
Thank you. I so appreciate it. Thank you.
No, it's lovely. Like I say, we've got all this in common. You see the creative thing, so I could quite happily chat
Yes.
all day. But
Yes.
it's wonderful. So
Yes. Well,
yeah,
thank you so much for taking the
Oh,
time
no,
out to talk to me.
pleasure. Love listening. And I say it's been great. And so I wish you luck with all your endeavours. When your series
Thank
done,
you.
please
You too.
let's enter into this wonderful.
I will, most certainly
festival
will.
there.
Yes,
That would be
yes,
great.
yes.
And
Yes.
and hopefully come back. Next year we can chat about where you're up to and stuff.
Absolutely.
And on your journey. But yeah,
Thank you so much.
No pleasure. You're doing so well, and you've got so many good things done. And I hope lots of wonderful things are coming your way. You deserve it. So that's great.
Thank you. It's so appreciated.
Pleasure.
Thank you for taking the time out. Thank you so much, Mr. Hemsworth. Appreciate
No, I've
it.
loved it. Cheers. Thank you. And
Okay,
we'll
thank
speak
you.
soon. Okay.
That we shall. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.